Last video went pretty good, got the environment getter set up, and we've implemented it into the base repository now that that's been merged in. That happened a couple of weeks ago. Been really busy, so I haven't had a ton of time to devote to Starship. I've kind of found some Wikipedia stuff here on just kind of like basic monorepo setups, where monorepos kind of came from. And then I found some articles on Stack Overflow that kind of go through like what people usually structure these like. Let's pop over here to the actual repository, and then I'll just create a quick little file. So I kind of want folders that's going to be front end. And then we'll just have like source or something. And then we'll have package.json, and then node_modules, of course. And effectively, we'll have a backend folder that'll be relatively the same thing with another package.json and the node modules. And then we'll have in the base repository another package.json. And basically what this is going to house is this is going to do, this will allow us in development in particular to do concurrent actions. And then we'll have any like scripts that are needed, as well as just the GitHub workflow deployments. Today, like I said, I just want to really get this stuff fleshed out, scaffold a basic front end, get the back end, and have concurrent be set up. Objectively, I have a good understanding of what I'm going to focus towards. So this is the package we're going to be using. This is concurrently. We will be using this for being able to run both the front end and the back end process at the exact same time. I think in the past where I've used it, I've not had both folders like this. I think we're just going to have to do npm start -- prefix front end, I think. And then I think if we just do npm start in this directory, it's either going to error out or it's going to work. I mean, one or the other. Run dev, I think, is what we want for this. Missing required environment variables. So it did try to start the back end, yes. And then the front end, of course. So it looks like it's getting the back end going, but it doesn't seem to be doing the front end, because front end's also the same thing, run dev project. So, all right, cool, yeah, disclaimer.js. So everything's starting. Obviously I don't have real tokens in my environment. None of this stuff's real, so. But yeah, concurrently looks to be working. The front end works, and obviously the back end does work pending actual, real stuff being hooked into it. Let's do a couple more tweaks on the front end here. How I like to structure my React routing, I like to have just a router.ts file. And basically, this will export a browser router. All I need to do now is just do import create browser router and router provider. And then we just do constant router equals create a browser router. And we can just give it an object that takes in a path. It can just be slash component. Component app, I think will work, or do I just need to do app like this? So let's add another file called context provider, or maybe just call it base context. And basically what this is going to do is this will be a HOC component, higher order component, that will wrap the base application with all of the required routing stuff, such as like strict mode. If you want to use strict mode, then we can. So let's do export default memo function, and we're actually going to call this, we're going to rename this back to context provider. And strict mode, and let's do props and interface I context provider props, and let's do children, and let's do I context provider props, and then we'll just pass our children in through here. At the moment, it's a single prop. It very well can get larger. I just like to have a HOC that wraps most of my other things. So we have this main context provider that just gives us, and we will do a context provider, and this wants the router provider, where the router equals router, just like that, and we have this. Perfect. Nice and easy implementation for React Router, boom. I have a router file, which is just right there, which this honestly could go into, like, say, a data layer rather than components, because it really isn't a component, it is an object. So let's move that. We'll just do data and then router and move, and then update the imports. This can change. I know there's another way to do it with elements, and I think that might be a way that I would prefer to do this. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up some of these style files to utilize less. So we got that set up. We got the Vite on this side. We have this VS Code on this side. Basically what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to get the Discord bot set up. I'm gonna put that into the Discord server for testing. All right, so I think if we run npm start, we should see the back end spin up, or the front end spin up, and then also the back end spin up. So it's looking pretty good. That does work. I see the bot is online in Starship, so. With that being said, that is going to do it for this video. I don't want to get too much into the Redux side of things. I think just scaffolding the simple front end and back end stuff is fine. And then working on like production stuff and how that integrates, I can do in a later video. Feels good, concurrent works, back end doesn't fail, starts everything as it's supposed to. I will go ahead and commit this code quick. That works, and without further ado, see y'all in the next video.